you said this destroys performance. How does it do that?
Well, if you have a query that's able to use an index, maybe you're looking up an ID or a phone number or a name or something like that, hopefully that works well by using index to be able to do an index seek. But what happens when the implicit conversion is being done, if the whole column that's indexed has to be converted from one data type to another, it's like running a function on a column where you can't do an index seek at that point. It turns into an index scan. And the difference between a seek is a seek gets you there quickly, going through the tree structure of the index, and maybe you're able to get your results in like 1 to 10 page reads. Whereas this index scan will give you n page reads, where n is the number of pages in the entire index. It has to go through every single row in that index and do that conversion and then compare it for what you're looking for. Where that really causes trouble is that there's a lot of work to do that. I mean, if you've got 2 million rows that you need to convert a varchar on, even if it's quick to do that varchar conversion, to do it 2 million times is going to add a lot to the CPU. The other thing it does, it throws off the statistics and cardinality estimates so that you're not getting the best plan at that point. And realistically, what we've seen here is that when implicit conversions are happening, we're getting 10 to 100 times slower queries or even more. So why is it important? Well, because if implicit converts are happening, the SQL Server cannot get to your data quickly. So what it comes down to, though, is there are some times where implicit converts are no big deal, and there's other times where it's catastrophic. If you're comparing it, joining a table or searching on a table that requires an implicit convert, you've got 30 rows in the table, well, no big deal. But if you've got 30 million rows in the table, that might be enough to take down your entire SQL Server. Yeah, we were doing a load test with a client actually last week where we ran into implicit convert that completely used up 100% of all of the CPU on their SQL Server when you had a few hundred users slamming the system at that point and using it. That's great to find out that in the load test environment, but you sure wouldn't want to find that out on your production server.
I guess that kind of explains how it's the silent killer, because when you start building an application and your database is real small, you wouldn't notice it right away, right? And as it grows, you're gonna slowly realize that the implicit convert has been there the entire time, and you might just drive yourself crazy trying to figure out why it's so slow.
Yeah, and when you refer to that as the entire time, I mean, it might be 5 or 6 years that it took your database to grow big enough for it to become a problem. And once you get to that point, you're not going to remember what was written on that query 5 or 6 years ago. You're going to have to figure out how to find it.
Thanks for watching. I'm Steve, and I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you like it, please click the thumbs up icon. And if you want to subscribe, click subscribe to our channel and click the bell icon to get notified when we have new videos. All right, have a great day.